What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Retro Night. And this time around, I know it's been a while, but we're going to be playing The Simpsons Bart versus the Space Mutant for the Sega Genesis. Doo-doo-doo. Not the stereotypical one that you see everybody play, which is the NES version, which I played as a child and remember that game being just fucking balls ass hard. So let's get into this ball ass hard game or whatever the fuck I just said. I don't care. Anyways, guys, so Bart versus this. What is it? Space Mutants, yes. Bart versus Space Mutants. There's so many Barts. There's so many The Simpsons games, and then Bart versus somebody, or Bart does this, or Bart does that. So The Simpsons Bart versus Space Mutant is a platform video game, the first based on the animated television series The Simpsons, which is horrible because Konami then later on, sometime probably after this or after the second one that they did, they made the Simpsons arcade game, which is fucking the best Simpsons game you can play besides Hit and Run, and then their version of Crazy Taxi, which is fuck, I can't remember. Is that one Hit and Run? Well, you got your GTA Simpsons and then the Crazy Taxi one, and then the arcade beat 'em up. Those three are like the trifecta of like perfection for the Simpsons games. But yeah, so it was released in 1991 for the Nintendo Entertainment System, Amiga, Amstrad, CPC, okay, Atari ST, Commodore 64, and the ZX Spectrum. And in 1992 for the Sega Genesis Master System and Game Gear, which the Genesis version was a lot easier to actually like be able to see stuff and kind of understand a little bit more what you were doing. Whereas the NES version was kind of, it was limited, and it sucked trying to play that one. But yeah, so who developed it? Published by Acclaim on consoles and Ocean Software on computers, and developed by Imagineering and Arc Developments. Why does that sound familiar? Why does Arc Development sound familiar? Let's see. Never mind, they didn't do shit really. They ended, looked like in 1997. They did WWF European Rampage Tour in 1992 for the MS-DOS. Okay, let's get off of Arc Development, sorry. In the game, the player controls Bart Simpson through 5 levels as he tries to ruin the aliens' plan to take over the world. So pretty much the whole plot of the game is each level the aliens are collecting something, and then Bart goes and collects it himself to stop the aliens from collecting it. Well, at least in the first level, it's more like you have to change the color of, I believe it's orange objects to different colors. It usually ends up being purple if you're playing on the NES. But yeah, you have to change the colors, and then after that, you're collecting shit. But pretty much, yeah, you're just stopping them from using fucking the ultimate, creating their ultimate weapon and all that stuff. Pretty much that's it on that part. Here's one that sounds funny. The game was a bestseller. It sold 1 million copies at $40 each. $40 for that game back then. Whereas eventually it would probably end up in the $5 bins. The reviews are mixed. All Game gave it a 4 out of 5. GameZone gave it a 84%. Awards crash. What the fuck? Oh, these are for fucking publication books, like magazines and stuff. They're like, yeah. Received a B rating in the Entertainment Weekly magazine. What the fuck? I'm trying to see. In 2009, OneUp.com editor Bob Mack reviewed the NES game in OneUp.com's official retro gaming blog. Although he liked the first level for mixing an impressive amount of references from the show with gameplay that has a pinch of point-and-click adventure in it, he expressed his dislike for the other levels. Unfortunately, either due to lack of ideas or lack of time, most likely the latter. Okay, so back in 2009, someone at OneUp.com that fucking reviewed this game. I don't know. Yeah, there's not much history on this game. I tell you, my experience is the NES version is fucking difficult because of the limitations with color on the NES. If you want to play a somewhat decent one and at least be able to see what you're doing and stuff, I recommend the Sega Genesis version. hell, maybe even the Game Gear or the Master System version. Probably not the Master System, because that's about NES graphics. A little bit like NES graphics, it's just a little bit more advanced, I believe, because that one did get Sonic eventually. But yeah, I would just recommend the Genesis version if you want to try to play the game. I mean, it's a terrible game. The only thing good redeeming about it is the Simpsons theme song, but that's about it. It's got terrible controls. Just really terrible controls, I guess. Yeah, it probably would have done better if they like maybe would have worked on the controls better. It probably would have been a little bit better of a game. But that's really my only complaint with the game is controls. I don't care about the story, because I grew up with NES games where the pretty much it's just like with NES games, it's like you got one simple plot and that was it. If you didn't like the game, obviously, if you didn't like the game, you're not gonna like the plot. But mainly for us, it was just, hey, we had games to play. We didn't really care, you know. Whereas like nowadays, people are like, oh, I don't like Call of Duty or something like that because of this and this and this. It's like, cool, dude, it's a game. Because I remember when Xbox used to give out free games every month, and they would always bitch that, oh, these aren't AAA games, blah blah blah, this and that. It's like, who fucking cares? They're free. So yeah, that's just how the world is going nowadays. But yeah, for my review on The Simpsons Bart versus Space Mutants, really it's just the controls. Like I said, if you want to play a little bit better graphics and all that, Sega Genesis version is the way to go. Anyways, guys, I've been the Retro Nerd. This has been an episode of Retro Night, and we were playing The Simpsons Bart versus Space Mutants. Retro out.
Eat my shorts, man. Eat my shorts, man.